Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Will Michael in today for Judy Simpson, and thank you for choosing us. It is the first Thursday of the month, which of course means we're in the kitchen with Across the Fence. And this month we feature a program that you viewers have asked us for, 5 ingredients or less. And our chefs, all of them, have some of their favorites. I want to welcome Carolyn Peak from Williamstown, and alongside me, Deb Plumley and Lynn Jarvis, both from South Hero. Good afternoon.
Thank you.
Now, it's winter and we're spending a little bit more time indoors, so we're of course getting some nice letters as always from you loyal viewers, including Kathleen Hooker from West Danville, and in Bristol, Nancy Rathburn. I want to say hello to Cheryl Perry over in Moores Forks, New York, Chris Rabideau of Winooski from Essex Junction, Kathy Gross, and Elizabeth Kimball from Burlington. We thank each of you and the many others who take the time to write us. Now, I do want to share one other story. One viewer, Paula Forks from Benson, Vermont, may hold the record for being our longest loyal viewer. Paula tells us that she and her husband have been enjoying Across the Fence for 44 years of marriage, and her parents made it their lunchtime break, faithfully watching Channel 3 for news, weather, and Across the Fence. And in her words, Paula wrote to us, "Thank you all for the many years of service so that we may enjoy your great and helpful information." Paula, we thank you for your kind words, and it's feedback like that that keep all of us here at Across the Fence working hard to present the best programs possible. I want to introduce Deb Plumley again. She's been working hard to prepare all of her recipes, and so I'm going to turn things over to you.
Well, we have some great recipes to share today, all using 5 or fewer ingredients. And many of these ingredients you're going to have handy in your pantry. I'm going to start with these barbecued mini meatloafs. I love meatloaf, but I don't always have the time that the traditional meatloaf takes to bake, an hour before I put it on the dinner table. This is so simple. Ground beef is mixed with a package of stuffing, a cup of water, and 2 tablespoons of your favorite barbecue sauce. Form that mixture into balls and press into a muffin pan. Bake it at 350 degrees for about 25 minutes. You want to use a meat thermometer to make sure the internal temperature is at least 160 degrees. But then you're left with these wonderful little beef muffin cups. Perfect and very flavorful. And when you serve them, just pour on a little bit more of your favorite barbecue sauce. Any sauce will do. My favorite happens to be Sweet Baby Ray's, but that's a wonderful takeoff on traditional meatloaf. Now, if you're looking for a nice dose of vitamin C and A, look no further than these sweet potato wedges. Sweet potatoes are peeled and then sliced into wedges. Top them with a mixture of orange juice, melted butter, a little bit of cinnamon, and a dash of salt. Bake covered in the oven for at 350 degrees for about 30 minutes until they're nice and tender. Just a beautiful winter vegetable to have to liven up your plate. Now, I love pasta, and this spinach fettuccine creamy ham casserole is a perfect winter meal. Spinach fettuccine is cooked al dente. Take it out of the pot and drain it. And then in your same pot, so here's an added bonus there, this dish only uses 1 pot, add 3 cups of cubed ham, 2 cups of frozen peas, you want to let them thaw slightly, some heavy cream, and some grated Parmesan cheese. Mix that all together, and then add your fettuccine noodles. Oh, it is so good. I wish you folks could all smell how wonderful it is. And then when you serve this, add a little bit of grated Parmesan on the top. Wonderful. I have Liz Pecor of Moncton to thank for this wonderful dessert. It's called Apple Delight. Apples are thinly sliced and placed in a pie plate. Top with melted butter, some sugar and flour. Bake until the apples have cooked down and you've got this wonderful caramelly, crunchy topping. As you can see, it bakes down very nicely, and I think this would be great served with a dollop of sour cream or perhaps your favorite flavor of ice cream. Thank you very much, Liz, for sharing that great recipe with us. Now, with Valentine's Day just around the corner, you're going to want to bake your sweetie these chocolate cornflake crunchy cookies. It's so simple. 4 egg whites are whipped with a cup of sugar. When stiff peaks form, you're going to want to fold in 3 cups of cornflakes, 4½ ounces of grated chocolate. I used mini chocolate chips and it worked out just fine, and a little bit of vanilla. Bake this on parchment-lined cookie sheets at 300 degrees for about 20 minutes. Let them sit slightly before you remove them, and then you have these wonderful, lighter-than-air, crunchy, chewy confections, just perfect for Valentine's Day. Now, I know we've talked about this before, Carolyn. It's too bad the viewers cannot smell how
really?
Wonderful these dishes are. And you've got some fabulous looking recipes.
Yeah, I really do, and I'm anxious to try some of them too, because a lot of times I haven't tried these recipes before I get them out of the cookbooks.
Well,
so.
that's going to be really fun, and we'll have a chance to try them.
Sure will. Well, I have a nice bunch of things today, and I'm going to start off right here in the front with dog wraps, or you could just call them pigs in a blanket, or whatever, whatever name they go by for you. It takes hot dogs, the crescent rolls, and some cheese. You split the hot dogs, put the cheese into it, and wrap it up, put it in the oven and bake it, and you've got these really nice appetizers for some time when you're just in a little bit of a hurry to get things done. Of course, then, once you've had your appetizers, then it's time for the meal. And my first recipe comes from Barbara Murphy of Fairfax, and she says she won 3rd prize with this at the Champlain Valley Fair a few years ago. It's a cheesy macaroni and Spam dish. And you get a packaged macaroni and cheese, you mix that up, and then you add a can of Spam that you've kind of run through the food processor to break it all up good. A cup of frozen peas. You stick it in the oven and you let it bake until it's nice and hot and bubbly, and you've got a really good start for a meal, a very quick start for a meal. Next, I have a broccoli and pepperoni salad. Now, isn't that a nice, bright-looking dish? It takes broccoli, some sliced mushrooms, Swiss cheese that's been diced up, and a package of sliced pepperoni chopped. And you mix it all together, put some Italian dressing on it, and you've got this really nice, tasty salad to go with your macaroni and cheese and Spam. The main meat dish on my plate is going to be a chicken bake, and it's just chicken breast halves. I probably should have cut this in half, just knowing the group here, but anyway, Swiss cheese, cream of chicken soup, and a box of stuffing mix. Put everything in a pan. Now this actually makes a 9 by 13, but I was thinking, for this one I just made it about a half a recipe, and I thought, this would be really good if you needed to take a dish to someone who wasn't feeling well, he was in the hospital, you want to help the family out or something. Depending on the size of the family, you could either go full-sized big, or you could make 2 small ones and just have one available for your own use, or whatever way, have it for later on or something. Now, of course, every meal needs a dessert, and this is an Oreo cake, and you just start out with a white cake mix. You chop up the Oreo cookies, put that into the mix, bake it, When it's cool, you mix confectioner sugar and butter, and you spread that on the top and take some crushed up cookies, and ta-da, you've got a cake.
It looks great, and happy Valentine's Day.
Yes, you too.
Thank you, Carolyn. Well, I very much enjoy cooking with 5 ingredients or less because they're quick and easy, they're not too expensive, and good any time of year. And I'm going to begin with a recipe that I've had around for quite a while. It's right here. It's my Catalina chicken with just 4 ingredients. And if you take a look at it, you can see there's potato in here that I've cut up, carrots, and chicken in the bottom. And in the sauce, it's actually just Catalina dressing that kind of makes a beautiful flavor as this is cooking. So if you are serving for a smaller group of people, you can cut the recipe in half or put it in the freezer for later use. It's a very versatile recipe. Now, the next recipe that I want to show you is a favorite of mine because it has 2 of my favorite ingredients: corned beef hash and cornmeal. Very easy to make. You start with a can of corned beef hash, to which you add some onion and an egg that you've beaten. Over that you put your corn muffin mix and some Parmesan cheese, creating a really nice flavor. Bake at about 400 degrees for 25 minutes. And some people like to top it with some gravy. I like it just the way it is, but we'll put a little gravy on since I brought it in. And then some people told me they like to put cream peas on the top. Now, I've never tried it with cream peas, but here you get an idea of the hash mixed in with the cornbread. It's really quite delicious. And then moving on, I have another dish that I think you'll enjoy, and it's right here. It's this seafood Alfredo puff. And when you're making these, they're quite easy, but your family and friends will think you've spent hours in the kitchen preparing this elegant main dish, but as I said, it just takes a few minutes. You start with these prepared puffs, then while they're cooking, you boil the shrimp and the scallops, and then heat the Alfredo sauce. When everything is ready, just put the sauce in the bottom of the cups and the seafood on top. So really very nice and very quick and easy. And a salad that goes with any of these main dishes is right here. Again, it's just 5 ingredients, and if you take a look at it, you'll see what's in here. There's your green grapes, chopped apples, walnuts, celery, and you mix it with mayonnaise. Now, what could be easier? And I think this is the salad that people say that I don't eat salad, but you know, with the grapes and the apple and the nuts, they'll really enjoy this, and quick and very easy to do. Now we're going to move on to dessert, and this is a recipe from a viewer, Donna Meserve, down in Morrisville, and it's her pineapple orange sunshine cake. And just take a look at this elegant cake. Just 5 ingredients. When I talk about it's made with, as I said, 5 ingredients. There's oranges in here, and pineapples, and cake mix, and vanilla pudding. But when I talk about pineapple and oranges, I think of warm climates like Hawaii and Mexico, and that's kind of nice to think about during these cold winter days. So thank you very much, Donna, for this quick and easy cake, a really nice recipe. And finally, I have, and it's way over here, so I've got to reach over and get it. It's my Black Forest pie. Let me set this up here for you. And it comes with a blue ribbon. And I got a blue ribbon at the Champlain Valley Fair in the 5 ingredients or less category with this pie. Very easy to make. You use a prepared graham cracker crust. You put in some baking chocolate, low-fat topping, condensed milk, and a little almond flavoring. And just before serving, put on the cherries on top. It's really delicious. And with Valentine's Day and Washington's birthday coming up, you might want to consider this as the dessert. And Will, there's 22 recipes in our handout. I think that's a record, so the viewers are going to do well when they order them this time.
Lots of choices. Is a trip to, you were reminiscing or looking ahead to warmer weather, is a trip to Mexico part of the deal?
Yes, it is.
All right, send away.
Yes.
Well, as always, we have a couple of different ways that our viewers can get these recipes. Of course, a great selection. And to get them online, you go to the UVM Extension website, uvm.edu/extension. Click on the link to Across the Fence, and you'll find the recipes on the left-hand side of the page. To get the recipes by mail, send $2 in a stamped, self-addressed business-size envelope to the address on your screen. That's 5 or less, Box 188, South Hero, Vermont 05486. Please remember, if you're ordering the recipes by mail, to include the $2 and your stamped, self-addressed business-size envelope. Once again, that address, P.O. Box 188, South Hero, Vermont 05486. And while you're making note of the address, I'll mention that our next In the Kitchen with Across the Fence program will be on the first Thursday of March. We're going to close out today's program, a bit of an early Valentine's celebration, and some of Lynn's Black Forest pie. We're going to enjoy that. We know you have choices, so thanks for choosing us. I'm Will Michael, inviting you to join us back here each weekday afternoon for another visit Across the Fence.